has never happened to me. I've never gotten a heads up that an interview might be in limbo because the guest had just been arrested. We first booked the mayor of Newark, Ras Baraka, to join us a few days ago. He'd started protesting outside a facility known as Delaney Hall. In February, ICE awarded the private prison company GEO Group a 15-year, billion-dollar contract to house migrants there. Has 1,000 beds. Newark sued. They argued that GEO does not have the proper permits to operate. And city officials say they just recently learned that ICE has already started holding migrants there. The local and state lawmakers have been trying to gain access all week. And on Friday, everything escalated. Witnesses said that Mayor Baraka tried to join 3 members of New Jersey's congressional delegation in attempting to enter the facility. An argument broke out. He was not allowed in. Minutes later, the mayor was surrounded and arrested. The mayor was ultimately released last night. He'll join me as the Assistant Secretary of Land Security. There at the facility of
Thanks, Victor, for having me. I'm glad I can be here to actually give viewers the facts. What happened is that these members of Congress, including the mayor as well, and a mob of protesters, as there was a bus full of detainees, they stormed the gate and actually entered the first security checkpoint. This put law enforcement at risk, and this actually put the detainees as well at risk. If any official, including these members of Congress, want to enter the facility and take a tour, DHS is more than accommodating. But just because you're a member of Congress does not mean you can break the law, trespass, put law enforcement at risk, and storm the detention facility. I have yet to hear anyone on this network actually talk about who is in this detention facility. There are members of MS-13, known terrorists, murderers, child rapists. There are some of the worst in this detention facility, and I'm still very confused why these Democrats are so hell-bent on getting these heinous actors out of this facility when we have the proper permitting. And actually, in that press conference, those members of Congress actually noted the great conditions of this facility that our ICE enforcement officers so bravely operate.
So, as you said here today and in your statement, that they stormed the gate and broke into the detention center, according to the statement. Was anybody else arrested other than the mayor of Newark?
There were multiple people arrested. And Victor, I think that we should let viewers know there will likely be more arrests coming. We actually have body camera footage of some of these members of Congress assaulting our ICE enforcement officers, including body slamming a female ICE officer. So we will be showing that to viewers very shortly.
You say a video of members of Congress body slamming ICE
That's correct.
officials?
That's correct, sir. It's disgusting.
Okay, and so if you have that video, are you suggesting that members of Congress will be arrested who were there yesterday?
This is an ongoing investigation, and that is definitely on the table.
Who has the video?
ICE does, and we will be releasing that very shortly.
Okay. Let's talk about the facility, because what the mayor says, and he's been saying for several days, is that you all don't have the proper permitting, or at least the facility owned by GEO Group, a private company that's contracted with the federal government, does not have the proper permitting, the certificate of occupancy, and there are some violations. To that, you say what?
That is flat out false. That is just political gamesmanship. We have the proper permitting. We've gone through proper inspections. It's a joke. And by the way, he should not, this is a guy who is going and storming an ICE detention facility. He's putting detainees at risk. He's putting law enforcement at risk. He's joined by a mob of people who have said we should end ICE. This is nothing more than political games, and we're not playing.
So there's a member of Congress, LaMonica McIver, who says that she told USA Today that ICE asked the mayor to leave. He did. And from the video that I've seen, when he was taken into custody, he was on public property. He was no longer on the private property of GEO Group. So if he was asked to leave and then he complied, why then take him into custody?
Whether you're a civilian, a mayor, or a member of Congress, If you are storming an ICE detention facility and putting law enforcement and detainees at risk, you can bet that we will arrest you and you will face the law. You will face justice. These other members of Congress will as well, as will the other protesters, some of which were arrested.
Okay, so we've got the mayor coming up in just a moment, but while I have you, I want to ask you about this reporting that the president is in conversations about suspending habeas corpus, one's right to challenge their detention in court. What would be the purpose of that when the Constitution says that there are very rare opportunities for this to happen only when there is an invasion? And so why would that be necessary at this point? We could put up here this section 9 of Article 1. The privilege of the writ of habeas corpus shall not be suspended unless when in cases of rebellion or invasion, the public safety may require it.
Victor, I'm not going to get ahead of the president. I'm not going to get ahead of Secretary Noem. When they have an announcement to make, they will make it. But I am looking forward to your interview with the mayor. I wonder what he'll say about the body camera footage of some of his colleagues assaulting law enforcement agents. I wonder if he thinks that they should be held accountable, because they will be.
All right, Tricia McLaughlin, and you're suggesting that there will be members of Congress who will face charges related to this video that you say will be released by ICE soon. We'll be looking forward to that video. Thanks for coming on this morning. All right, here to respond to that interview and his arrest, Newark Mayor Ros